In the last video I said I wasn't going to share the previous video that I made on the Barabar caves in India on the end of that. It was 5 minutes long, so I've decided to put it on the end of this. I realised just after I'd made it that there was one specific image, and it was the most important image that I wanted to show you actually, and for some reason I missed it out. Right, I will get to it shortly. Just want to point out a few things as I get to that image. Now, I'm just going to show you one that I showed from the previous video, which was this one, and I just want to point out the floor first. I've got a cutout of the same room. I think there's about 3 rooms within this thing that looks like an upturned ship, right, which is what I previously thought it was, and it might actually be. I'm not talking about a ship that was built out of stone originally. It's just turned into that from being not so much on the ocean depth, because it would just have rusted or rotted away, yeah, without any sunlight on it, or it got covered in ash and silt. I don't know, but I've shown you the framework in it that spans down the length of it, and it's very uniform, right? So it doesn't look natural at all. But when you look at the floor of this, it almost looks like laminate flooring, some type of metal meshing, again if it's upturned. Which brings me to the image that I've not shown you before. Actually, I had shown it in the first video that I'm going to play on the end of this from about 2 months ago, and because I'd not seen this one, I'd just seen the side angle there. Now, what this is on the floor, this marking, I don't know if it's something recent. It doesn't appear to be, because it's almost embedded in the actual ground itself, the deck, right? Almost like this was some type of plate to hold something, either the gearing that runs down the center of the ship, or something to hold the propeller in place, you know, to stop vibration, if indeed it was something like a ship. Okay,
the whole point of my channel is to show you that things are built and that they've turned into what we see today. That is my entire premise, right? If I take a guess on sites on what they may have been, then that's what I'm doing. But I'm showing you that this was built, right? And all these darker lines are perfectly spaced the same distance, or there would be, it's just that, you know, that's slight perspective. That's why they're closer, right? Now, on the next image, so you can see, now somebody did say that this could have been a carcass and that these will be ribs. Well, I don't think so, you know, for the reasons that you're going to have to work out yourself, whether or not it is some type of ship that's upside down. And this would be the keel or something, is it? But you can see how it's built and structural, and it might have worn away, weathered away a bit there. And, you know, and it's just, this is all silt or ash. This is the door that you've just been looking at, and this is the oldest image that you will find on it, because this is here. This has been taken away, because I think that this middle bit is new. I think this is, you know, was done obviously in ancient times, but it's newer to what the rest of the structure is, and I'll show you why. I showed you this and I said it was structural, and it is, and you can see down there, and it's all just turned into sand from going under the ocean and being dragged on the ocean bottom. It's turned to sand. That is it there. Now, whether or not this is broke off from another section or another ship, I don't know, but ships like this, if indeed it was some type of sub, I think it was just like a boat really, but you know, like how subs have got you know, like fins on the back to help them steer, so maybe this was, you know, to let water through. so there wouldn't be too much drag, but I don't think it's that. I think it's broke off, you know, from somewhere else. Someone said that this door here isn't a door like I showed you. I showed you a submarine door that was oval with a lady coming through it on the original video, but it is actually rounded there at the bottom, and yes, it is touching the floor, but this is silt and mud. This floor would actually have gone down deeper. This cracking, which is all over this what used to be a ship, has actually been, really could only have been done by pressure, and it must have been some type of metal, steel, iron, for it to have cracked in this way, and it must have been very, very deep. Okay, so you can see the shape of it, yeah, which is exactly this. Oh yeah, this bit here, I didn't mention it in the last video. Yeah, a lot of these type shifts have actually got a drive shaft, you know, the engine, right? So you've got a drive shaft that runs down the centre, probably for about a third of the length of these ships. You know, a drive shaft which drives the engine and runs down the bottom of the ship, which is what this could be. Okay. That's what the shape like, because people were saying, yeah, these doorways are too high. Well, it's like I have to explain everything. If this ship was, because it's an upside down boat ship, you don't just walk around on this here, on, you know, on the base of the boat, on the rounded bit. This is where the flooring goes to. There will have been another floor here that's rusted and rotted away. Okay, so this door is in the perfect place. This floor is mud rock. It will have gone down deeper. Just like this. Yeah, you don't walk around on this curved bit. That, you walk on that bit there. Right, we're getting there now. So I was showing you these black lines and how they're perfectly spaced. Yeah, almost like it's built. Well, it is built. It's structural, right? These, I said, looked like leaf springs, like what I showed you earlier, that run round the edge, right? And this is actually extremely technical what they've built here. So these are the rims. Yeah, if you look at that, you can see that it's the exact same thickness as this here, as these here, right? So we get in there now. These are the leaf springs here that have since turned into what you see now, sand, limestone, I don't know, from the Great Flood. This door section here has been added, right, later, so you can forget that. These bars here and these leaf springs are original. Can you see that? It's like snapped. There will have been another bar section like that that ran all the way across and went behind this here and joined onto the next ones, because these bars run all the way the length of this entire ship. There's bars like this and leaf springs like this across the entire length. That has sprung forward when this got damaged, right? This got damaged here, that joined onto that, and that sprung forward. Okay, so these run the entire length. These leaf springs are to help it flex, yeah, or stop it flexing. Do you get me? That's what they are. That spike on top has been added. This door has all been added later. It's high technology, right? It can't be any plainer. It's the best example of ancient high technology that I've ever found.